Besides being one of Metallica's founding members and main songwriters, drummer Lars Ulrich is also the band's spokesman. Born on December 26, 1963 in Gentofte, Denmark, Ulrich's father Torben Ulrich was a nationally renowned tennis player, and it appeared as though Lars would follow in his father's footsteps, as the young Ulrich practiced hard on tennis skills. In 1973, his father took Lars to his first rock concert, to see the mighty Deep Purple in Copenhagen, which opened the youngster's eyes to hard rock and heavy metal. After he decided that the tennis life wasn't for him after all, Ulrich shifted his focus on music, namely the new wave of British heavy metal movement Iron Maiden, Saxon, Diamond Head, Motörhead, Def Leppard, and took up the drums. As a result of his newfound interest in music, he received his first drum kit, a Ludwig, from his grandmother around the age of 12 or 13. Ulrich originally intended to follow in his father's footsteps and play tennis, and he moved to Newport Beach, California, in the summer of 1980. Despite being ranked in the top 10 tennis players of his age group in Denmark, Ulrich failed to make it into the 7-man Corona del Mar high school tennis team, contributing to his decision to focus on music. In the documentary Anvil, the story of Anvil, Ulrich states that witnessing a Y&T show was his defining moment in deciding to become a musician. In 1981, he discovered British heavy metal band Diamond Head. He was excited about the band's style of music after purchasing their debut album Lightning to the Nations, and traveled from San Francisco to London to see the band perform live at the Woolwich Odeon. Ulrich remains a fan of Diamond Head and would later mix their album The Best of Diamond Head. Upon returning to the US, Ulrich placed an advert in a local classifieds newspaper looking for musicians to start a band with him. James Hetfield replied to the ad and Metallica was formed. Later in 1981, Ulrich met James Hetfield in Downey, California, and they formed the heavy metal band Metallica upon Ulrich securing a spot in a compilation album of local metal bands named Metal Massacre. He got the band name from a friend, Ron Quintana, who was brainstorming names for a heavy metal fanzine he was creating, and Metallica was one of the options, the other being Metal Mania. Ulrich encouraged him to choose Metal Mania and used the name Metallica for himself. He became known as a pioneer of fast thrash drum beats, featured on many of Metallica's early songs such as Metal Militia from Kill 'Em All, Fight Fire with Fire from Ride the Lightning, Battery and Damage Inc. from Master of Puppets, and Dyer's Eve from And Justice for All. He has since been considerably influential due to both the popularity of his band, as well as his drum techniques, such as the double bass drum in the song One and Dyer's Eve. Since the release of Metallica, Ulrich adopted a less focused and simplified style of drumming, and reduced his kit from a 9-piece to a 7-piece. Between in 1998 and in 2002, Ulrich tried running a record label, The Music Company. The company was a joint venture with Metallica accountant Tim Duffy. It failed to catch on and folded in the spring in 2002. His voice can be heard in the opening seconds of Leper Messiah, and he also counts to 4 in his native Danish on the Saint Anger music video. To unwind after some gigs, Ulrich listens to jazz. He made his acting debut in the HBO original film Hemingway and Gellhorn, which began filming in March 2011 and was released on the 28th of May 2012. Ulrich made a brief cameo appearance as himself in the film Get Him to the Greek, as the partner of the character Jackie. In 2012, Ulrich was the focus of the documentary film Mission to Lars. The film by Kate and Will Spicer concerns their journey with their brother Tom, who lives in a care home in Devon, England, and who has Fragile X syndrome, to try to meet Ulrich at one of Metallica's 2009 gigs in California. In 2017, Ulrich began hosting a show on Apple Music called It's Electric, which has featured conversations with Joan Jett, Noel Gallagher, Dave Grohl, and Jerry Cantrell. Ulrich's drumming style has changed throughout his career. During the 1980s, he was known for his fast, aggressive thrash beats. Unlike most drummers, Ulrich does not have a ride cymbal in his kit and instead favors the China cymbal. He said that he does not like the ding sound of the former and prefers the loudness of the latter. Ulrich consciously simplified his style in the 1990s to support the hard rock-oriented songwriting of Metallica's albums during that period. He restored some of his earlier thrash metal techniques for the band's 2016 album Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which saw a more aggressive and experimental drumming style from Ulrich. In 2009, Ulrich revealed he suffered from tinnitus due to many years of touring without the use of any auditory protection. Ulrich is a friend of Noel Gallagher and his former band Oasis and claimed Gallagher was his inspiration to give up cocaine in the 2000s. Ulrich also has a passion for fine art. In 2002 he sold a painting from his own collection, Self-Portrait by Jean-Michel Basquiat 1982. With a pre-sale price estimate of $5 million, it ultimately sold for triple that at Christie's auction house. Ulrich has been an activist in support of expanding access to healthcare for U.S. citizens, with his family working with the Haight-Ashbury Free Clinic of San Francisco, California. He raised $32,000 for the group during a celebrity edition of the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?